Welcome back to the channel, Coffee with Rohan. Today I decided to do a part 2, exploring the Rastafarian culture. So being Jamaican, I had a first-hand knowledge of certain cultures and words that were used and spoken when dealing with a Rastafarian. So first of all, there are two types of Rastafarians. Because some of them are called bald head Rasta. That means they don't wear the locks, but they do the rituals. Most of it involve the actual smoking of the herb. So some of the things that they'll say, words that they'll use is, I mentioned in part 1, Haile Selassie. That is their prophet. Other words they'll use is like Jah Rastafari. They'll also use words like Haile Selassie, forever living. So they believe that their prophet never died. Another word that they'll use, they never use negative terminology. So they'll never say things like backward. They'll say forward in reference to the word backward. Other terminologies they will use, I mentioned before, Ital. Ital referring to no salt in their food. Some other terminologies would be like Babylon. Babylon was just describe two things or two sets of people, either the police or the system or the government. So that's what they'll say is Babylon. Overstand, which is another word for understand. Dread, that's another word for dreadlocks. And of course Ganja is the word for marijuana. Dutchy, that's a pot that is used, called Dutch pot. So they call it Dutchy. I think that's more an African word though. Don't hold me on that one. Another word that is used often in Rastafarian culture is down press, which is meaning of oppression. They also use terms like Selassie, which is their prophet. They use things like I and I, which was a greeting, or mean themselves, I and I, talking about each other. So instead of saying me, they'll say I and I. Another word is bless up, which is a greeting saying, bless you. Nyabingi. Nyabingi is probably more an African word, but it's the drums that the Africans and the Rastafarian play. Chalice. Chalice is the actual pipe type that they smoke, which is the herb. So chalice is what they use to smoke the herb. Another word is Zion. Zion means the homeland. So Zion is referring to Africa, or especially Ethiopia. Other words would be like Livity, another one. Just living, way of living. Irie, which is a very popular one. Irie just means everything is good, everything is Irie, everything is okay. Jah means Jehovah. Natty and dread is the same thing. So it's basically saying natty dreadlocks. What else? There's so many that's woven into the culture. One that's not used so much anymore, but it's called the King's music. So the King's music is what reggae is known as to Rastafarians, but it's more Jamaican music now. We have our own culture now, So it's more Jamaican music than a King's music. And that's the few that I can think of. If anybody know any more and their meaning, drop it in the comments. Peace.